out of the tournament in the group stage?
Well, when you're here and you're caught up in it, and you want to be in this tournament and you want to advance to the group stage, you want your 3 points or you want your points for the regular season. So we're disappointed in both of those parts of today. It was a journey, and it was a lot. Again, not a lot I think went our way, but we gave I think a pretty good performance overall, and we put ourselves in a position to win that game. Unfortunately, we just didn't make any plays. We made one, unfortunately, for them, and then on the offensive end, we got plenty of looks, and we just didn't see out any plays. And you're not going to move on in the tournament if you can't you can't see out a play. But there was some good stuff. I do think we grew throughout the tournament. We got better, and it was, I think, a lot to ask physically of the guys today. You saw a lot of subs, a lot of guys cramping, and it was, we had the least amount of rest as anybody in this tournament, and I think that showed a little bit today. We used some fresh bodies and threw some young guys in, and again had a couple looks and just didn't make the play that made the difference tonight.
Reminder to raise your hand if you have a question for Ben. Next question will go to Jimena from the Washington Times. Jimena, go ahead.
Coach, do you feel the setup of this tournament was a disadvantage?
For us?
Yes.
I don't want to sit up here and make excuses about the tournament. The tournament is I think a necessary one for this league, and I think it's putting on. They've done as good a job as they can to get us up and running, and within that, there's going to be casualties and some circumstances that aren't perfect. But that's most teams are dealing with that in some way. So I certainly I'm not going to sit here and make excuses. Could have won that game.
Thanks, Ben. We're gonna go back to Steve Goff. Steve, go ahead.
Ben, were you surprised that Julian's impact over the group, and to some extent Flores in the first 2 games before he got this injury, didn't have the punch or the impact in the attack that maybe we thought we'd see from them?
Well, we certainly have to get more out of both of them. And that's partly my job. That's partly the individual's job. That's partly as our team grows, we will be able to make them excel in those certain areas that they're able to do that. And but yeah, I single a couple players out over the tournament. Again, I thought our center backs. I thought Steve had a great tournament. I thought Felipe was a warrior and had a good tournament. I think you can see Kevin Paredes' quality, and that he's going to be a nice piece for this club in the future. Bill came up with some great saves, but we've got some work to do in a whole bunch of different areas to get better. But that's partly what this is about.
Next question, we'll go to Jason Anderson, Black and Red United. Jason, go ahead.
Hi, Ben. Thanks for taking the time. Obviously, losing Flores in the build-up to this game leaves you with a tough call to make at that number 10 spot. You have several guys that could play that role. What went into choosing Felipe for that spot?
Who are the other guys that can play it?
Assad, possibly Segura, possibly Pipa, at least for 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah. I think it was the right call. I'll stand by the 3 midfielders in there. I thought they did really well. The thought process was that we really didn't have a 10 to play, and Pipa's not ready to carry that load yet. He will be at some point, hopefully. But but you know, we started in defending out of the 4-4-2. We changed to a 4-3-3 at the water break to shore it up, and then it was we weren't playing with a 10. We were playing with 3 flat in the midfield in the center of the park, and that helped us be able to get a little bit more pressure on them. But yeah, I don't question any of the lineup. I think that game was there to be had today, and we just needed to see out a play or two. And you're not going to win a game if you can't score the goal with your opportunities.
Thanks, Ben. I think we have time for maybe one more question, maybe two. Steve Goff, is your hand risen? I see it right now, but I'm not sure if that's a leftover.
Hey, Ben, so now that this is over, where do you go from here? Obviously, we don't really know what happens after this tournament ends. And clearly, as you said, you're still a work in progress as a team. So how do you look ahead at this point?
Well, yeah, we go home tomorrow, and we take a few days off because it's been 20-something days here, and then we'll get back to work probably Monday and get better and look to not only get better on the field, but get better outside of the field in the transfer window and make this team bolster this group. I still think we're short a piece or two and so that's what we'll do. We'll get better there, and we'll see if we can get better elsewhere, and we'll wait for the league and to see what's next, whether it's another tournament, whether it's a league, a Eastern, Western Conference setup, regional games, league games. I'm not exactly sure, but I know, again, right now, we'll get back and we'll get training and try to get better.
We'll take one more question. Charles Boehm, MLSsoccer.com. Charles, go ahead.
Hey, Ben, do you think that you have your team's identity set, and are you happy or content with that aspect of it? You mentioned needing.
No.
Could you expand on that a little bit? Is it more than just new faces maybe? Is there something deeper that you want to change?
No.
All right. Thanks, Ben. Appreciate your time.